We saw the upside-down wisdom of Jesus in women leaders preaching the gospel, in powerful testimonies from LGBTQ plus Christians, and in tough conversations about racism. We saw it in Christians caring for and about the earth. We saw it in t-shirts that read, "I love Jesus, but I cuss a little." I went to buy one and they were all gone. "The future is female. I met God and she was black." We tried to understand the plight of those who have been named other by our country. And this is what Shay was talking about, where we heard letters from immigrant women in detention centers. And the main thing I heard was, they treat us like animals, like we aren't even people. You have to help us. And even in the midst of hearing about so much pain and struggle in the world, we experienced unexpected joy in listening to unfamiliar music that touched us. I didn't expect to like Amy Grant, but I felt moved by her music. In the act of dancing together at midnight like no one was watching, even though everybody was watching. It's called silent disco. You've got to try it sometime. In giving gifts to each other, both the gifts of our own not always very pretty stories and the gifts we brought from artisans and gave to each other. In a tent full of people, old and young, hippies and hipsters, all the variations of skin color and gender, from a little old lady with a sweet smile to a young man with dreads, piercing, and lots of ink. From a group of fashionably dressed young women to a dark-skinned man with sparkly butterflies all in his beard. And all were singing old hymns in an unlikely but beautiful harmony, loving God and loving each other. We live in a part of the country where conventional Christian wisdom says that a personal relationship with Christ is what's important. That what we do with our own bodies is what constitutes sin, and that faith in God is something that will be rewarded for after we die. I believe that if we truly seek a personal relationship with the risen Christ, we must follow the path modeled for us by Jesus. That the most important thing about our humanity is our relationships with our brothers and sisters and with God. And that faith in God means treating all God's creation with love and respect. At the Wild Goose Festival with our young people, it renewed my hope to be with so many people who are seeking to live with spiritual wisdom, to serve and to sacrifice for their fellow humans and for all of creation. Not perfect people, but people willing to look at the world in a different way, through a different lens, one of self-sacrifice and connectedness that today's conventional wisdom tells us is foolish, that we should take care of ourselves, self-help, and that we should be individual and separate. May we choose the way of Jesus each day, holding our words and actions up to the light of an image of God of mercy rather than one of judgment, a God of boundless love rather than a God of conditions to fill. May we choose to sacrifice for the sake of our sisters and brothers, knowing that we are in this together. Amen.